Well, we have now managed to have our second, by definition, pro. What is it? Pro. I don't want to call you a bodybuilder. Pro model, pro bikini contestant.
Pro fitness.
Yes.
Diva is what I'm
Diva, pro
considered
fitness
now
diva.
at this
Okay.
point.
Awesome. Miss Kara Burgess. So thanks for coming. I know we stole you a couple weeks ago over here, and you had the time, so we appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having me.
So now I was looking. The only thing I saw a little bit is it's not IFBB, right?
No.
Okay. What is this? What organization is
So the WBFF, it stands for World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion Federation.
Okay.
Completely separate from the IFBB and NPC.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Perfect,
still it's still bodybuilding, but it's more focused on the overall package, not just lean and cut for a show. It's basically like it's how you live your life and get up on stage and present what you do every day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So because I saw like the bikini you wore wasn't in a standard. It had, I remember, I think it had like a flower on it or something, right?
A ton of jewels and
Yeah.
sequins and yeah.
And that's not like a standard. Like that would be almost something bad if you were to go NPC, right?
Yeah, so they have, so NPC is, I mean, they're beautiful bikinis still, but they're not as glam as WBFF. And
Right.
WBFF, it's all, like I said, about fashion too. So the bikinis you wear, the costumes that you wear, they're all like glammed up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, but you started did you start at NPC?
I started in NGA. And
You did?
Years ago, yeah. That was
Wow.
my first two shows I did was NGA.
Okay. So, and NGA's your natural, and then NPC is kind of your, I don't know. I hate
Real
to say
bodybuilding.
Step up, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's when it's the mainstream type of
Hardcore.
Any type fitness, bikini, bodybuilding, anything. And then WBFF, how did you find that? Like, what was the transition from NPC to this?
So I didn't feel at home in NPC, and I never could figure out why. I don't know if it was because my body just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do to win. But I started, after my last show in NPC, I started searching for something that gave me the feeling of being able to show what I do on an everyday basis, because I don't just work out just for stage.
Right.
I work out every single day. Well, for my lifestyle, I mean, it's a part of who I am, and
Right.
I wanted to find something that represented how I live my life every day. And NPC, I just felt like, for me personally, a lot of it was you live your life until the 12 weeks before your show, and then you diet, and then you get to a point where it's an unrealistic body image that didn't represent, a healthy body image for an everyday fit person. And I mean, no disrespect to the people who do it, because it is hardcore. If you're doing NPC, like, you have a ton of motivation and dedication for that. But I wanted something that I could sustain every day. And so I went to Instagram and just started searching for something. I didn't even know that the WBFF was out there.
Okay.
But I fell upon this girl from Australia, and I started watching her journey, and it was everything I had hoped for. And so I reached out to her and asked her about it, and she described it exactly how I had hoped and prayed that there'd be something out there.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've known you and Sean for, gosh,
Long time.
7, 8 years probably at this point, right? And I remember you guys coming in, and it is your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys go to the gym together almost every day, and I remember a vague conversation about you kind of saying that with NPC is like, it just wasn't, you didn't feel right with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, whether it was the stage part of it, whether it was the prep part of it, whether it was the surrounding people around you, like living those lifestyles, like, and you're right, just to watch people prep, and whether it's male or female, and regardless of what the competition is or what they're doing, the dedication's unreal.
Yeah, it is, totally.
But you do have these, 10, 12-year-old kids that see these people on stage and say, I want to look like that. What they don't know is they look like that for 7 hours, you know, and yeah, and it is, and they go through some wicked prep stuff to get there, and kudos to them, but I would never have the mental strength to do some of the stuff like that. And then there are people like you who kind of don't have an off season.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, you don't have a bulking, cutting phase necessarily, right, on all those things, right? And so what is the WBFF offer that like NPC doesn't?
So basically they offer a ton of opportunity within the fitness industry. And, you know, originally that's not what I was going after, but like you had said, the 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids that idolize people who look a certain way. It's not just them, it's adults too. I mean, I can't tell you how many people, and I'm sure every bodybuilder or person who is into fitness gets the same kind of questions on an almost daily basis of what can I do to look like you, or how do I get there? And when you're on stage, or when you're dieting to cut to get on stage, it isn't an ideal body image to portray to an everyday person, and it's really hard to encourage somebody to follow my lifestyle because it's going to make you better, when really the truth is it's really only to get on stage. So originally I wasn't necessarily out to take advantage of what the WBFF offered, but then the more I started learning what they do offer, it is exactly my cup of tea, because they do offer opportunity in the whole fitness industry to be a true role model and example to anybody who wants to just live a healthy, fit lifestyle. When you're on stage, your physical physique and your appearance is only 40% of your winning percentage.
So you could be the best looking person up there and shit the bed. Like
exactly.
You could get last easily if you don't have other presence.
Yeah.
So what else is it?
It's about how your stage confidence, how you present yourself, but they start judging you from the day you get there for the whole weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah.
Screw that.
I know, but I love it because like I said, it's not just for stage. It's every day. It's how you represent yourself.
But if you're living
but
if you're living your life that way, then
it should
judge
be
away.
easy. Yeah,
right?
exactly. Judge me. So you show up to your competition and you get into the hotel, and literally it's like you better be on your A game because they're watching your every move and they're listening to everything you say. They're watching what you post. But that to me is huge because they want to give opportunity, such as magazine modeling opportunities or supplement opportunities to be a rep for that. So it's all sorts of things, but they want people that will represent their federation that live the lifestyle on a daily basis.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. And so you looked up this girl from Australia and she started explaining this. Then so from that time to, because where was your show? It was
in Miami.
Miami. Yeah, real close.
Yeah.
So from there to, when did you pick a show and say, I'm going to do this?
A lot of it had to be worked around my job schedule because we're in the holiday season at Costco. But I wanted a long prep because the first time I had ever done a show, the NGA, my hormones got jacked up. I didn't know what it entailed. Like there wasn't enough education, and bad on me for not doing my own research, but also bad on, the people I hired to help me to not teach me that, hey, you're gonna probably lose your period. You're probably gonna feel a little crazy.
Yeah, and then post show.
Yeah.
These things are gonna try to come back, and you're gonna
go nuts.
Yeah. Right.
And I did not have a great first experience, and then after that, NPC was a little bit better, but this time I wanted a long prep, and so I got a hold of my coach. And she completely understood where I was coming from. She actually appreciated that I wanted to make sure my hormones stayed in check. And so I did a 7-month prep, which is extremely long for prepping for a show. But like you said, I don't consider myself off season. Like even right now, technically I'm off season, but mentally I'm still chugging away, planning for my next one.
So did you have the same coach? You said you got a hold of your coach and explain this to him or her?
Her.
Okay. Now, is it the one from Australia?
Yeah.
So she ended up being your coach.
No, I hired the gal's coach who I reached out to.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
where is she also from Australia?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Both
okay.
of them are.
So was that harder having a coach from literally in a different country? You're not ever going to see them or
Yeah.
anything. Was that hard or?
Yeah, it was. Our hours, she's 16 hours ahead of us, so
Yeah.
she's in tomorrow.
Yep.
And then obviously not having somebody one-on-one to be able to critique and really scrutinize what I'm doing is difficult, but she was awesome because we did a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, pictures. So, I mean, it worked. It really worked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was the last interview I had. He was talking about he does more of endurance sports, but he was talking about having a coach versus not having a coach. And sometimes, when you're just getting into it, you're forced to do your own research. Mm-hmm. So hypothetically, say you didn't have a coach when you were doing NPC, you may have said, "Okay, I don't feel right," and you jump in and you start to understand this stuff. Versus, your trust is in this coach to guide you every which way, and sometimes it's hard to find out that coach wasn't for you, because the way you find out is you find out.
Yeah, the hard way.
But you're probably a little bit more aware this time and had better questions to ask your coach and set her up for you to do well. And you obviously did well.
I did.
So
I did.
So now you're going to Miami, right? You got all of this stuff set up. You've got your support group. Did you go there? Do you scope your competition out like others do through NPC and stuff? Do you look at the roster and kind of go look up their stuff, or was it just?
I didn't. I trained myself differently this time. A big, huge part of this show for me was personal growth, because I did do that on my last shows, and I got myself so overwhelmed and worked up. And it's so easy, especially in this fitness world, to compare yourself to anybody, especially even just at the gym, comparing yourself to another, at least for me, to another woman who's fit.
No, not just for you, just so you know.
And it's a mind screw. It really can mess with your confidence. And I mean, the world's hard enough. It's hard enough to be an adult as it is, let alone you throw that into it. So I didn't. This time I decided I was going to do a lot of personal self-growth, and I wanted to be able to stand on that stage feeling the most confident. Yeah. So the only people I followed were people that inspired me. I didn't compare myself to them.
You weren't following competition?
Nope. I mean, I had friends that I had made that I did compete with in the same category, but in my mind, I don't know, it took a lot for me to get here, but in my mind, I wasn't competing against them. I was competing against myself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you've preached that this whole time.
I
have. It was for you.
Yeah.
Now, you're on the plane there and you're going there. Was there a level of, yeah, I'm gonna win this? Like, I mean, or were you totally shocked, or you're pretty sure you were gonna kick some ass over there?
No, so the whole journey, the whole 7 months, I mean, like I said, I read a ton of books. I tried to stay in a positive frame of mind, and so I'm not gonna lie, I really truly had the mindset of, I've got this, because in the past, I had always doubted myself, and I think that had everything to do with why I didn't rock the stage. My confidence on stage sucked. Because I doubted myself, I compared myself to...
How many shows have you done then?
This was my 6th show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah, I kept telling myself, I've got this, I've got this. But then I stepped on stage, and I did not.
I don't got this.
No, I got up there with all those other beautiful women, and I instantly felt like, ugh, I don't belong here. And I felt it.
Really?
Literally. And it wasn't that, I actually didn't even win in the category that I competed in. I won, the vice president of the whole organization, Allison Dillette, she sits at the judges table, and she's part of the judging panel. And she saw me come out in the bikini round, which is where my coach put me. And she saw me, and I didn't get first call-outs. And so I went backstage and took off my bikini and put my robe on, and I tried to stay in a positive frame of mind for all the other girls, but I was
dying
pissed.
Inside. Yeah,
dying. I was like, God, I had 7 months and flying clear to Florida and all this money, and I didn't even get first call-outs. And then one of the queen divas who was helping backstage, she started calling my name and my number from the hallway, and I perk up and I'm like, I'm right here. And anyway, Allison Dillette, the vice president, she saw me come out and she knew instantly I was in the wrong category. And so she told the gal to have me put my bikini back on and get ready to compete in the fitness round, which is the more muscular round, the more fit, legit round for like actual.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and but so do you have to, like NBC, you have to pay per class?
Yeah.
Right? Did you have to do that with this one, or like you were supposed to, but she just?
I don't know. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she took the money and moved it over.
Really?
I don't know. But you wouldn't see that in NPC that I'm aware of. I think.
No. You screw up in the wrong class. You screwed up in the wrong class. That's your
Better
fault.
luck next time. Yeah.
That's funny though, because pictures are funny. There was literally one picture I saw, one, and I was looking, and I saw you, and then I saw the lady in the girl in the back. Just physique-wise, you had her killed, but I also know enough. Not that I know it all, but I know enough that just eye test, like you looked way better. But I'm like, but for what? But for what? Because there's been a lot of people that will do bikini where they're like, you should have been in physique, right? In NBC. Well, you look a lot better. Yeah, for physique, right? And so I saw that and I was like, wow, yeah, she killed her. Like there's no question she killed it. But I bet you the picture I saw was maybe one that they took a picture of
in the
when you were in
bikini
the
round.
bikini round.
Yeah. And so when I got out there on stage, I thought to myself, you know what? Even if I don't place in this category, who cares? The vice president of the whole organization saw something in me.
And went out of her way.
And like I feel like I won at this point. And then when they went to call out who won, I really didn't think I placed, but to have won the whole category.
What an emotional freaking ride that would have been.
I was a mess. And then my husband was in the audience, and he didn't know that I was coming out in that category.
Right.
So
how would he? Yeah.
I went back to my phone, and it was blown up with all these exclamation points and profanity. Good profanity.
Yeah. I bet.
Anyway.
Yeah, we'll screenshot those and post them on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's something that I find that where people are the most successful is their support groups. You know, and you know, we had Luigi on our team, and the first thing he does, you know, like I don't know if it comes first or second to God when he thanks everybody is his wife, and she does so much for him and just make sure that everything's right. I remember talking to Demi, and she said something like she makes sure like he's in bed by like 10 o'clock, even if there's something he has to do, because she would rather deal with his stuff out like after 10 and do the stuff for him than him to lose sleep and wake up the next morning the way that he is.
Wow.
She's like, no, go to bed. I'll do it. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like, and so she takes a lot on, and he's, you know, and he really recognizes her for that. But I realized that's what it takes, you know. And a couple days ago I saw Sean at Winco, and I have my 2 daughters with me, and there's like Reese's in there and like a box of cereal and like, I don't know what the hell. That was probably the healthier stuff in there. And then Sean's grabbing like celery sticks. And I was like, oh no. And and I was like, I'm shopping for the girls. Like, it's not mine. And it was totally mine. But it's nice to have the girls there with me though.
Yeah, to blame them. Yeah.
That's their cheat day, you know. But Sean's like, well, I'm not. Like, you should see shopping for me. Like, and so he, you know, I think he was probably getting some stuff for you, and that's when I realized that, man, like the support system has to be 100% everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And like, has that helped you guys? Like going through these like 7, 8, 9 month period, has it helped you guys, or did it put like stress on certain parts?
I will say that my support system at home is by far one of the strongest I've ever known. I don't know what Sean would 100% say. Like, he's always so positive towards me about everything, but my kids included, it's been hard, I won't lie. Like, my gym sessions went from 1 hour to 2 hours pretty much 5 to 6 days a week. I didn't eat dinner with my family, as you know, very few times did I get to eat dinner with my family because it was too mentally hard, and so there were a lot of moments of it being difficult, but the amount of support that my kids and Sean gave me was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we strive personally in setting goals, we work better whenever we have something that one of us is working towards and helping the other person succeed at.
Yeah. Well, because Sean's notes, like he does his own workouts and he does his, you know, I think you're the only guy forever in that 9 a.m. class.
Yeah.
And Cody Carpenter was always like, come do this. I'm like, hell no.
Yeah.
Like, that was insane. But yeah, you know, so you have your own agenda. Sean's behind the camera here. So, you know, Sean, you seem to have your own agenda, right? I mean, your own goals and your thing. And so while you're supporting her, you also have to do the same thing for him
yeah.
and what he's doing.
Yep.
And you know, sometimes it works, and there's plenty of times where it doesn't.
Yeah, I've known some friends who unfortunately have ended up in divorces over this, but it's not just the support at home. I mean, it took support from my job, my coworkers. It took support from my friends. I lost a lot of friends, actually, believe it or not, because of this lifestyle. It takes a lot of, I mean, you want to surround yourself with people that are like-minded and that encourage you rather than fit shame you or put you down. And it's
so is that why you lost the friends? Was it a time thing? Like, why do you think you lost friends?
I think there's a lot of different things, but I think some people just can't relate to the mindset of it.
Yeah.
And it's
you almost can't blame them.
No.
I mean,
no. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay that it's not everybody's thing, but I definitely find that I do better in anything that I do in life if I surround myself with people that are like-minded.
Yes.
And that are encouraging instead of find little things to, like, little ways to, I don't know, fit shame is probably the only word I can think of right now because
which is
it happens.
So weird,
it
right?
does
like,
happen.
It's weird that that's a word.
I know,
like,
but it happens.
Right, it is. It does. It does. And they're even, I think on TikTok, there was a big trend going around, and it was anybody who has a regimen with eating, right, or who's not putting condiments or seasonings on their food and they're eating, you know, kind of bland food on a regular basis for a goal is now classified as an eating disorder.
Yep.
Have you seen that? Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, what?
Well, I've had people, believe it or not, I had people take pictures of me and post it on Facebook when they saw me eating a McDonald's cheeseburger. And not this prep, but it was the prep before. And, I mean, they call you out for it. And like you had said...
You're like, bitch, you're at McDonald's with me. You took the picture at McDonald's because you were also at McDonald's.
But that's the point of this whole federation to me is I still get to live my life. I'm not cutting all that out. I still have Reese's peanut butter cups. They're my favorite candy. I have a jar on my counter full of Reese's peanut butter cups. I had a warning.
Warning on it?
Yeah.
Did you put the warning on it?
No, I did.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Stay out. If you don't answer to mom, stay out is what it said. But so no, I still allowed myself.
Oh, it was a warning. Was it a warning to the kids?
To them.
Oh, I thought it was like I thought it was like a motivation, like only one, Tara.
No,
but it was stay the hell out of my
Those
Reese's.
are mine. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, but yeah, you're right though. You allow yourselves to do that, you know, and even during your off season, it's funny because people. I had to talk with somebody else the other day, and so many people, and I'm not talking like people that are at your level or doing shows, and I'm talking that even like the 50, 60 pound overweight people, they are 100% or 0%. They think there's only one or the other. So if they're working out, they're also eating right and getting adequate sleep and drinking their water and, you know, doing those things. But as soon as they're not in the gym now, like it's McDonald's twice a day, it's your water turns to soda, you're staying up all night, and then people will say, well, I don't want to go work out if I'm not eating right. And it's like, so we had to have the discussion, like it's okay to be 70% sometimes, you know, and people really struggle with balance on lifestyle. Absolutely. And they think that you don't know what a Reese's is.
Yeah, like it's all or nothing, and that's not the case, and
it's not sustainable
or
realistic.
No, and that's why this federation is so much more so much better for me because I don't live the lifestyle of all or nothing. I can't. I mean, life's way too short. I've said this a handful of times to other people in my life. We personally have lost some friends at a young age that it's just, you see how short life is, that to restrict yourself completely of any kind of joy and happiness is just not for me.
Right, right. Yeah, it's just not worth it. But you have found, you and Sean have both found a balance because you guys both have relatively similar goals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Sean was a gamer who ate Cheetos every night and hated the gym, you're both going to resent each other.
He's gone.
Well, yeah, but he would say the same to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't care about him. You're always in the gym. You're never eating dinner with him. You're never,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
so both of you would have this resentment for each other, and so it is important for that. I've noticed that you have to have kind of the similar goals with that and find the balance in there, because there doesn't seem to be. Do you have a plan on competing again? Because now you can only compete in pro shows, right?
Yep. Yeah, and now that I'm a pro, I'm only allowed to compete in the WBFF. If I choose to go back to NPC, I will lose my pro card.
So what if you competed in NPC, you lose your pro card? Could you go do an amateur WBFF show again to retain your pro card?
I'll have to find out about that. I'm not sure. I think it will be hard because they are very, like, they want...
You're one of us now.
Yeah, they want you on their side, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's a totally different federation. You're representing their brand. And I'm okay with it because their brand is exactly what I want to represent.
So you have no plans on going back to NPC
Not
to
at
try
all.
to get a
IFBB, no,
IFBB
not at all. And kudos to anybody who is, because
Yeah.
again, I don't want to take away from the amount of work and the dedication, and I look up to anybody who does that. But I want to do this over here.
But are there are there WBFF shows anywhere near Idaho?
The
Even pro shows?
Las
especially?
Vegas is the world show that they hold every year, and
Okay.
so my next show will be my pro show, my pro debut, and my coach has set that up with me to debut in the UK. And so
Good
I
hell.
know, so it's exciting because I get to travel. I'm okay to do a local show, but I really enjoy the fact that I get to travel the world to do this and see all sorts of different places.
When is that?
Next November. So
Next November,
technically
okay.
this is my off season, bulking season, but it's,
Sure.
like I said, it's a mindset.
Sure. So you got 11 months or so to do it. And so when are you going to do another 7-month prep, you think, or you just kind of play it by ear?
Just play it by ear right now.
Okay, we're recording. You look beautiful. You
Oh,
really
thank
do.
you.
She's so complimentary.
I mean, you look good too.
Yeah.
Jade.
Jade. Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yep.
just asked her that question, and Kara, go ahead and take a breath, and then
Yeah.
answer it.
Okay.
So 7 month, I'm just gonna play it by ear right now because technically my coach wants me to get a little bit bigger in certain areas. And so I'm going to be bulking, I guess is what they call it, which is going to be
say for a
weird.
female, isn't it,
yeah,
right?
it's going to
But-
be a little hard. But that's why I say that I'm not really in off season, because there's still a plan during this off stage time.
Right.
Yeah.
The switch doesn't just go off
No.
and you just do your thing, right?
Yeah, but I will probably ask my coach to do what we did this last time, where we start about 7 months probably, because it just was so much nicer mentally to be in the mindset instead of just hardcore cut everything for 12 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. So you take a teenager girl, right, and she sees these bikini. Most people that these girls see are NPC type competitors. I think hearing your story and saying, hey, look, they do work their ass off. You were part of it.
Yeah.
They do train hard. But I've heard the story of like their hormones shut off and it's hard to get back. And then there's a lot that goes on with that. And I think this is going to be intriguing to a lot of people that really says, I don't have an off season. I have a lifestyle that I'm committed to. I just happen to step on stage at these certain times, right? There are a few weeks where I, dial it in a little bit more, but for the most part, this is the lifestyle that we're living. Do you encourage that? Would you say, hey, if you're somebody who's never done NPC and you've never done a show, look into WBFF, or will you still say, hey, do whatever you want? Like, is that something you want to convince people to look into?
I absolutely, and on one aspect, yes, because I don't want to discourage anybody from doing anything, but if they're hardcore set on, no, I only want to do NPC, more power to them, and I would support that too. When you talk about the young girls, like idolizing which way, I believe in just a healthy fit lifestyle, and to me the WBFF is exactly that. You know, I don't want to say that just because the WBFF is more of it's not just an everyday get on stage or everyday, how do I say this? You know, we still work really hard. We still work really hard. I mean, like I said, my gym sessions were up to 2 hours. I was lifting heavy. I was watching my diet. But when I got on stage, I wasn't super, like, completely out of it from being on low carb, you know, for
water depleted.
Exactly.
And shut down and
yeah. So I think there's a place for both in people's life. But if you want to live an everyday fit lifestyle and then showcase that, absolutely, I would encourage the WBFF for sure.
Okay. Well, we'll get you weighed in here in just a few minutes. Sorry about that. What the heck is his name? No, don't leave. Don't. You're part of it now. You're gonna be forced to watch an interview later. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And there's I can imagine that it would actually be harder to find a WBFF coach if somebody wanted to. Do you think an NPC coach could be a WBFF coach, or do you think they're two totally different markets?
Well, I do know, I do think they are two totally different markets, but I'm still learning, and I do know, like, Eric Cafferty, I think is his name, out of Boise. He coached another girl who actually was in Miami with me. I didn't even know until I turned the corner and I saw Eric there in Miami, which weirded me out.
Yeah, he
but
followed me.
He actually had a competitor there too, so he's normally an NPC coach, but he ventured into this world too. So I think it's possible for some coaches to do that, but if you want somebody that really knows their stuff and what they're looking for, then I would go with a strict WBFF coach. And that's why I chose mine, because she's not only a coach, she's a world title coach.
Yeah, and obviously has done her own competing.
Yeah,
and she knows the industry part of that inside and out.
And I find a lot of respect in that. And you see a lot of people will do a show and then all of a sudden they want to coach, and I'm thinking, I don't know. There's
I know 7.
So much to learn.
Yeah.
So I think people need to be careful who they hire, because that's my mistake. The first few rounds of competing was
it's hard.
Yeah.
Like it's hard and did you only have one coach through NPC, or did you have several?
I had one through NGA and one through NPC.
Okay.
And then
they just weren't the fit for you.
They just weren't. No. And no hard feelings towards them. I mean, I don't want to discredit them or talk ill of them, but I think that there's just a lot of education that some people just still need, and myself included.
Yeah. So. And especially, you don't know the right question to ask in the beginning, right? And so maybe just a setup of this is what to expect. But yeah, it's hard, and I think even as coaches, they all learn. You know, your coaches then are probably better coaches now than they were when you were getting coached by them then.
Yeah.
You know, you would hope so, and you'd think so. But so if somebody has some questions for you, like, are you pretty tight with your information, or can they reach out to you?
Oh, yeah.
You're good with that? Okay. And your Instagram handle is?
CaraBFit _WBFF Pro.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Had to upgrade.
Sure is. Yeah, I saw that. So CaraBFit _WBFF Pro.
Yeah.
Your handle will be probably above your head or something.
Something. So, yeah.
No, but we appreciate you coming, and I'm glad Sean came too, because I wanted to get his intake on the back side of it as well a little bit too.
Yes.
So, and if don't be surprised if somebody starts, what's this WBFF stuff? Yeah, because they're gonna see some pictures and be inspired. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.